So this is my daughter when she was about 4 days old, and you might be wondering why it looks like she's in a tanning bed operated by Dr. Manhattan, but she's actually getting something called blue light phototherapy to treat something called jaundice. So basically when our blood cells break down, they release this compound called bilirubin. Bilirubin is this yellow pigmented substance, and it's actually why our bruises turn yellow, and also why our poop is brown. Normally this bilirubin gets excreted through our poop, but little tiny babies have little tiny livers, and they're not fully developed, so they struggle to pull bilirubin out of the body. This bilirubin can build up, causing jaundice, and when this happens in little babies, it's called neonatal jaundice. If this is left untreated, this bilirubin can actually build up and start affecting the brain, which causes something known as kernicterus, which can affect development, hearing, and possibly cause death. Neonatal jaundice is pretty common. It affects something like 1/3 of all babies. So most parents will tell you it can be really tricky to get your baby to eat in the first couple days of life, and that can cause this cycle that can lead to jaundice. Because when babies eat, it tells their body to poop, and breast milk actually has laxatives in it, which encourages pooping even more, getting rid of the bilirubin. And if babies aren't eating as much as they should, then they're not pooping as much as they should, and this bilirubin builds up in the body. So neonatal jaundice has been a concern for a long time. So essentially the treatment was to do blood transfusions and pull the blood out that had bilirubin in it and replace it with blood that had low or no bilirubin. But then, in 1956, a nurse named Sister Jean Ward, who was working in Essex, England, decided to try something different. She was a big fan of fresh air, so sometimes she would take the babies outside and put them all in the courtyard, and many of these babies she would put outside were babies with jaundice. She would put some of them in the sun, some would end up being in the shade, and she noticed pretty quickly that the babies that were put in the sun were recovering a lot faster. So she was like, I wonder what's going on with that. So she started doing more experiments, like taking blood that had bilirubin in it, putting it outside, and then measuring the bilirubin levels after, and sure enough, it was going down. So eventually she got in touch with this doctor named R.J. Cremer, and so they did some more experiments together and were basically able to prove that yes, something in the light is breaking bilirubin down. So they did some more experiments, came up with this phototherapy for babies, and they started putting babies with jaundice under the light, and they would recover in a matter of days. And thus the blue light phototherapy was born. So now when babies have jaundice, they don't have to have their blood taken out and new blood put in. Now you can just throw them in this cool tanning bed, and after a day or two, their livers usually catch up and they get better. So yeah, huge shout out to Sister Jean Ward. Who knows how many babies she's helped and saved, including helping out my daughter. And yeah, my daughter ended up being fine. She's 2 now, so she's doing great.